Welcome back everybody, MC here with another video, and today I want to show you guys how to breed your pals in Palworld. So the first thing you're going to need is a breeding pen, and the breeding pen is this thing here with this giant egg on top. And you go to your technology tab and you unlock the breeding pen. Breeding pen's quite easy to make, it's not very resource heavy, so you should be fine, and you get it at level 19, so as long as you're level 19, you can start breeding your pals. And once you unlock breeding in Palworld, it really expands what you can do in the game. So you also need to make sure you unlock the cooking pot as well in order to start the breeding process. And you're going to need a couple of other things in order to make cake, but I'll show you how to make the cake specifically in a different video. When it comes to the breeding pen itself though, just place it down. You're going to need a good bit of space. Try and destroy as many trees and as many stones as you can so that they don't take up space in the pen, because they can be a little bit glitchy if you're trying to get your pals into the right place. But I'll show you that in a moment. The cake itself, I'm just going to show you how to make it or where to make it, and you pretty much make cake from flour, red berries, milk, eggs and honey, and it takes 2000 workload to make, so it's quite a hefty job and takes a while to make. And when it comes to where to get these ingredients, I'll show you that in a different video, as I mentioned already. So we are going to be breeding two of our pals now. We're going to have the Van Worm and we're going to have the Anubis. And if you have these as a breeding pair, then they give you a pretty good flying pal later on. It's probably better if you try and get good stats with your pals, of course. I'm literally just breeding them just because I have them rather than focusing on ones that have really good stats. You throw them into the pen itself, try and go all the way up to the hay that's underneath the stable. And that way you will have a better chance of actually having your pals in the right place, because sometimes it can be a bit buggy, as I mentioned already. So you put the two pals in and they'll start breeding. During the breeding process, you will have a circle that goes all the way up to the top, or it'll like have a full circle. And once you put the cake into the box next to the pen, the egg will spawn. So we're just waiting for the cake now. Usually what I like to do is I like to put a very high level fire based pal into my pal main team, and then I put them out to actually make the cake while I do other jobs around the campsite. So for example here, I'm going to throw him into the position for making the cake, and I'm gonna let him make the cake for me while I just stand there, and maybe I will put something on the F key to make the cake for me while I go make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. But for now, we're just gonna make sure everything is in order. The circle is moving, as you can see, and we're just making sure that everything is ready for the cake to be entered into the box. Here are some of the egg incubators that I have already, and some eggs that are being worked on, and I'll show you a little bit more about those in a moment. So we're just going to skip ahead here and grab the cake and put the cake into the box. That is going to allow us to spawn the egg, and then we bring the egg and put it into an egg incubator. I usually like to leave my egg incubators inside, and they usually take about an hour each on default settings for the big eggs, I should say, and put a campfire next to the eggs as well to keep them hot. The campfires don't stack, so only one is going to work here. I use other forms of heat in the room as well, but it does very little, so just be ready for that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again in the next one, and ta-ta!